Hey Gandalf, is there anything you can do about this deluge? It is raining, Master Dwarf. And it will continue to rain until the rain has stopped. Guys, thanks for clicking on this video. Thanks for joining me. Got my canoe. Old Town Discovery 11.9 foot canoe. I'm out at Silverton Reservoir right now, just trying her out. This is the second time I've been on this canoe. I didn't really want to film the first time because I wanted to have time to get used to the canoe instead of trying to deal with getting the camera done. Alright, so I like it. I'm in love. It's actually sprinkling right now a little bit. Maybe it's like mist. Maybe it's like a light fog in the air. When I first decided I wanted to get something to paddle around the water in, I wanted a canoe. Yeah, it's definitely sprinkling now. Hope it doesn't get any heavier. Anyway, yeah, so I wanted a canoe. The problem was that I didn't want to spend a lot of money on something and then not be totally into it. So, instead I got a pretty cheap kayak oh man, it's going to be so wet out here. Anyway, I got a pretty cheap kayak at Shopco in Salem, or when Shopco was still open in Salem. So I got it and I thought it was really great and really fun. I took it on a number of camping trips, Charlton Lake, Sparks Lake, Waldo Lake, a few different places, and had a lot of fun with it. The reason that I ended up ultimately deciding that I wanted a canoe over a kayak is because the packing of the kayak. I never made a video of how I had to pack the kayak, but it was a pain. You know, anybody who's got a kayak that goes camping with it automatically knows that you have to pack your gear a certain way. Can you guys tell that it's raining? Anyway, with this canoe, this is a pack boat. I can literally just take a backpack and throw it back here behind me, and I'm good to go. I don't have to space the gear around throughout the entire boat, accounting for, you know, weight distribution and all that. I can just throw a pack in here and go. And that was really the appeal. It's raining so hard. It's not raining hard at all. So yeah, anyway, my decision to get a boat like this versus even getting a new kayak was that I can just throw my gear in the back and call it good. In my old kayak, I really, every time I took it out somewhere to go camping or I had to bring any amount of gear with me, I always felt like I was some kind of a crazy kayaking gypsy or something, because gear was just kind of mounted all over the place. This is so much nicer. So again, this is only my second time on the canoe out in the water. Alright, so let's talk about my upcoming plans. I've got a few of them. You are crooked, I'm sorry. Is that better? Anyway, talk about my upcoming plans. So next week, I'm actually going to take this to either Waldo Lake or Charlton Lake. Just the location is going to depend pretty greatly on the weather. Fall seems to be coming in with pretty big vengeance right now, which is kind of weird. Anyway, I was up there last year in October, the first part of October at Charlton Lake. That was my first kayak camping trip. And it rained and it was freezing the whole time. And then I was up there again this last June and it snowed on me. So the weather there can be kind of weird. I would like to do Waldo Lake, just because it's bigger and I can explore a lot more than I can at Charlton Lake. Charlton Lake's, I think it's maybe 4 miles in circumference. Is that the word? Circumference? Whereas Waldo Lake is about 20 miles. And I really would like to do Waldo Lake. The problem with Waldo Lake is it gets kind of windy there, and when I had my kayak on there, the waves were splashing over the deck of the kayak, and it made for a very frightening time. So, it really just depends on Waldo Lake. If Waldo Lake is good to go, we'll go there. Charlton Lake, if not, then we'll just go to Charlton. It's not a big deal. I can do the same thing at both places, just not as much place to explore. The other plan I've got, the first part of October, I'm going to be starting in Eugene on the Willamette River and going to Kaiser. That's about 80 miles. I'm going to take 2 days to do it, or excuse me, 3 days to do it, 2 nights. I'll spend the night on some islands out there in the Willamette River. It'd be pretty fun. Yeah, so that's it, yeah. Kind of seems like fall's here, guys. You guys seeing this at all? Can you make it out? I'll tell you one thing about this canoe. It's a lot different than my kayak. Is that paddling seems to be almost effortless, despite the fact that this weighs 15 pounds more than my kayak did. Paddling is it's almost effortless. I barely feel like I'm putting any effort into it at all, and I'm just moving. This canoe is 11.9 feet. Let's call it 12. So it's 2 feet longer than my kayak was. I really didn't think that 2 feet would make that big of a difference, but it actually really does. It absolutely makes a difference. Oh, another plan I've got coming up is the guy who bought my kayak from me wants to paddle with me up the Lewis and Clark River, spend the night at a campground that's up there. I forget which one it's called. And then after, and then go and go to the Fort Clatsop, where it was the last stop of Lewis and Clark. That's going to be exciting. That'll happen in October. Hopefully we get fairly decent weather for it. It's on the coastal range, and that rains. It's raining right now, and it's not going to stop till June. So we're hoping for that. Hopefully that'll happen in October, probably the 2nd or 3rd week of October. So lots of cool things, guys. Lots of cool things. Most of them involving this canoe. I think that the Lewis and Clark trip might be the last time I'll be able to use the canoe this season. Right after that we get into the serious cold weather season, and see the ducks. Anyway, we'll get into the cold weather season, and we won't be able to paddle as much unless we get a few decent, nice days in. Oh, it is a gorgeous day today. It was raining when I got here, but it stopped. So this is the end of the line for Silverton Reservoir paddling. I'll get up a little closer. I was here 2 weeks ago, the day I got my canoe, and I paddled up here, and all of this, all of this was below the water level. interesting that it's not today. So 2 weeks, and this is how much the water level rose. You could literally walk across right here without getting your feet wet. Aside from some of the more obvious differences between a kayak and a canoe, one thing is it definitely maneuvers better than my kayak, or at least I think it does. Just got a message from Ozark Blake. It's like Ozark Blake is coming back. He's had a busy work summer and some other family things going on. Hasn't done a video in a while, so apparently he's coming back. He's getting ready to come back. Super excited about that one. So this Sitka Spruce right here, it actually fell like 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah, it's been down, and it's still alive. It's still alive and well. Here's the there's the uproot right there, and the tree just goes all the way over there. It's just hanging above the water. It's still alive and well. See what happens when you drive while you're on your phone? Just chatting with Ozark Blake. I wasn't paying attention or ran into a tree. Oh, I just did it again. Quack. Quack. Okay guys, that's it today. Thank you for joining me on my Old Town discovery at Silverton Reservoir. Remember, if you haven't already done so, hit that subscribe button and join me for more future adventures. I'm going to get back in. I've been awake for like 20 hours and I'm really tired, so I'm going to go get some sleep. Alright guys, thanks a lot. How do you close a video? Like, what's a good way to end it? We'll end it with some ducks. At least I'm not wearing a Care Bear costume.